Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to tackle one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, maybe most misunderstood technologies of our time, artificial intelligence. Let's just start with this idea right here, because it really sets the stage for everything. This is not some sci-fi story about machines taking over. It's a story about a powerful new tool. So the real question isn't, will AI replace me, but am I ready to use it? Okay, so what is AI, really? There's so much hype out there. Let's just strip all of that away and get down to a simple, clear definition. At its heart, it's really about learning and deciding, not just following orders. Think about it this way. Traditional software, that's like a calculator. You give it rules, it follows them perfectly, and it gives you the right answer. AI is totally different. It's more like a detective. It looks at all the evidence, all the data, and then it forms its own conclusion. I love this analogy because it makes so much sense. You don't teach a baby to walk by handing them a physics textbook on balance, right? Of course not. They learn by trying, falling down, and adjusting. Well, AI does something very similar, just by sifting through millions and millions of examples to figure out what works. So really, it all boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful three-step cycle. First, it just soaks up enormous amounts of data. Then, it starts to find patterns in that data, patterns a human could never, ever spot. And finally, based on what it finds, it makes a decision, like flagging a credit card charge that looks fishy or predicting the very next word you're about to type. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This technology feels so brand new, like it just appeared out of nowhere. But the truth is, this has been developing for decades. We've been building towards this exact moment for a very, very long time. Just look at this timeline. It all started way back in 1950 with a simple philosophical question from Alan Turing: can machines think? And for decades, progress was kind of slow. Then, a big moment in 1997, a machine finally beats the world chess champion. But the real explosion, the real acceleration, started in 2012 with something called deep learning. That was followed by the absolute game changer in 2017, the transformer architecture. That's the engine behind most of the AI we use today. And all of that led to 2022, when ChatGPT just burst onto the scene and put this incredible power into everyone's hands. So let's talk about the here and now. How is this technology already having a huge, fundamental impact on the world around us? Because this isn't about the future, this is happening right now. The impact is just profound. In healthcare, we're talking about AI that can spot cancer on a scan more accurately than a human radiologist. In education, it's like giving every single student their own personal tutor. For lawyers, a task that used to take a whole team of paralegals a week reviewing documents can now be done in minutes. And for so many of us in our daily jobs, it's become this new collaborator that helps us write, code, and think faster than we ever could before. Okay, this all brings us to the most crucial question of all. Why does this matter directly to you? Because this is not something you can just sit back and watch from the sidelines. Just look at this one number, 37%. That is a massive jump in productivity. It tells you everything you need to know. Ignoring AI isn't really an option anymore. It's a choice to knowingly fall behind. That's a huge competitive advantage, whether you're a company or just an individual trying to get ahead in your career. And honestly, it's about way more than just productivity. First, that productivity gap, it's only going to get wider. Second, we live in a world of AI-generated content now. If you don't understand how it works, how can you tell what's real and what's fake? And third, and this is a big one, AI is already making critical decisions about your life, your credit score, whether you get that job interview. Understanding it isn't just a good idea, it's a matter of empowerment. All right, so after all this talk about how powerful these machines are, let's get to maybe the most important part of this whole conversation: human intelligence. This comparison just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you have what AI is brilliant at: speed, scale, finding patterns. But look at the other side. That's where we shine. AI has zero common sense. It can generate art, but it can't feel true curiosity. It can mimic empathy, but it can't actually feel it. And maybe most important of all, you can't hold an AI accountable. You always have to hold a human accountable. So, what's the real takeaway here? The ultimate skill in this new world isn't about becoming a master programmer or an expert in prompts. It's about doubling down on the things that make us human: our creativity, our empathy, our critical thinking, and our ethical judgment. The challenge isn't to become more like a machine, it's to become an even better human working right alongside one. And that is the real intelligence that's going to define our future.